Welcome back to Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. We're going to go directly to the phones with the Car Pro Jerry Reynolds. And Jerry, you've been pretty excited this week. I've seen an uptick in tweets.
Well, why wouldn't I be? I've been behind the wheel of the all-new 2020 Corvette, the hottest car in America, no doubt. And I got to tell you guys, I'm sort of humbled when I get a car like this because there's a lot of so-called automotive journalists out there call themselves that. Some of them are just bloggers, and there's a lot of good journalists out there too that cover cars. But when you get a car like this, you realize you're blessed because it's rare to get a car like this. One that is much in demand.
That means that you're the real thing, doesn't it, Jerry?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Dave.
Hey, let me say, man, this car, it looks like a spaceship, man, like a rocket.
Yeah, I've had all week. Of course, when you're driving this car, people are constantly filming out the window with their cell phones, and if you have to stop for something, people just swarm it. I hear everything from it looks like a Ferrari to it looks like the Batmobile. And all that's true. It is such a unique design. And, I've owned 2 Corvettes in the last 6 years. The last one was a Z06, which was the fastest one that they made. But this is the first time since 1953, when the Corvette debuted, that it's a mid-engine car. And the thing I didn't realize how much that would change the way the car drives. It's centered, it's balanced. You can take the corners better. It grips the road, which my last one did not. I could be going down the road at 60 miles an hour and floorboarded, and the rear end would come around on you, which is not a very good feeling. This car just hunkers down and goes. 490 horses in that mid-engine car. The cockpit is space age. I mean, it looks like the Jetsons probably designed it. This one is actually easier to enter and exit out of than the old Corvettes were. They've reduced the step in and step out, which has been going to be a big help for a lot of people. Now, the problem is getting one. They are so hard to come by. You have to buy them used. I watched at the auction yesterday a car that was very similar to the one I'm driving. Same color. It had a couple of options that this one didn't have. This one stickers for $72,000. At the auction yesterday, one brought $97,000 with 1,800 miles. So the used market is hotter than a pistol right now on them. On the new car side, if you wanted to order one, you're looking at a 2022.
Yeah, which means you're waiting 2 years from right now.
Absolutely. But it would be worth it. I'm going to tell you, after just having this car for 3 full days, it would be worth the wait. And I got to be honest, I don't know how they build this car and put that kind of sticker price on it. $72,000. I've driven cars that were 4 times the amount that this car is that wasn't as enjoyable.
Yeah.
And man, for $72,000, that's a ton of money. I get it, but this is a ton of car too.
Is your name on the list yet?
No, not yet.
Got to.
The jury's still out. I in my personal life, I really need a 4-door, and that's why this Porsche Panamera that I've got is working out so well for me.
Yeah.
But man, I tell you what, if you had all the money in the world and just could set one of these aside and drive it just occasionally, it would be an amazing addition to anybody's garage.
So, are you going to have and I don't know that you can actually do a burnout video on this. It probably sticks to the ground too well. But
you can't do a burnout. But when I was filming with it yesterday, I did some full acceleration starts, and you'll hear it in the video. You'll hear the tires, this thing, it's got some cool features, guys. It's got a data recorder built in. So, like when I took off yesterday, it showed my 0 to 60 time, and then it played it back. And it also functions as a full-time dash cam. So when you're running down the road, you're filming all the time, so in case somebody pulls out in front of you or whatever. And it's got a front view camera because this car sits really low. It's got a front view camera, so if you're pulling up to a curb, there's a button on the dash. You just hit it, and that camera activates, and you can make sure you don't bump a curb.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to bump a curb in that thing.
No, but it happened with the old Corvettes. It happened a lot.
Yeah,
and so it's got 19-inch tires on the front and 20-inch on the rear, and the tires are very wide in the back. So again, that grip, which is what you're looking for, is astounding. You can see the engine through the back glass, and it's a sight to see. I got to tell you.
So do you? And I know that in cars like that, you're probably supposed to. But is the engine very, very loud inside the car?
It is not. There's a glass between you and the engine, and they must have heavily insulated this thing because you really can't hear it. I mean, if you get on it really hard, you can hear it, but if you're driving sort of normal, which is hard to do, you don't notice it. It's not like it's back there.
So if Corvette enthusiasts that were kind of wondering whether or not to get this, what's your recommendation for them?
Yeah, if you've loved any Corvette anytime over the last decade, you'll absolutely love this car. You'll love the way it drives. You'll love the way it handles. You'll love the way it looks. And you'll love the price. It blows my mind. These cars start at $58,000. This is a 2LT, which is next to the top of the line, and it's at $72,000 with everything you could possibly want on one. This car is amazing.
Now, there are, I could be wrong, but aren't there Camaros that cost more than that?
Yeah, some of the SS Camaros do. They're packing about the same amount of horsepower, but yeah, they're up in that same price range. The difference is you can get one of those and you can't get one of these.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it, this car looks like it's going 200 miles an hour just sitting still.
Well, top speed's 194. I haven't tested that yet, but it's going to get real close.
Well, that would give you a little sensation, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be one of those tickets that you need bail money for.
Yeah.
That's true. So what do you have going on CarProUSA.com?
We've got a list of the cars that cost the most and least to insure. A new study that was done, and I checked out the information. It's very accurate. And that's a big consideration when people are buying a new car.
You can make a big difference.
Yeah, you got to check that out. I see people who insurance is an afterthought, and once they've already signed for the car and got their payment, then they find out the insurance is high. Especially
when you're looking at a lease, you're trying to save a little money there. You could be not saving very much money.
That's exactly right. And I think the big story won't be up until probably around 10 o'clock this morning. I hastily wrote it yesterday after watching auction prices because used car prices have been sky high for about 8 weeks in a row. And yesterday we saw a huge drop. And that I said on the air many times, this is going to happen. This is a bubble. When prices drop, they're going to drop hard and they're going to drop fast. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday. Now, the good news is we're here at the end of the month. If somebody wants to grab a bargain, it'll take a week to 10 days for the market reports to catch up with what I saw yesterday. So it's not too late. But I will tell you, man, we're fixing to see a drop in used car prices, which is great if you want to buy one. But it's not great if you want to trade one in.
Yeah. So if you want to trade one in, do it now.
You need to do it in the next, at least within the next week.
All right. And also, just a reminder, the new Corvette, you want to see pictures of it, you want to see the review, it's going to be up on Monday right there on CarProUSA.com. And if you want any other auto news, make sure to go check that out.
There you go, guys.
Right.
I appreciate it. I'll see you Saturday from 11 to 1.
All right, sounds good, Jerry.
right.
Thank you for coming on.
Have a great day.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll be back here on News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO.